What's up, man? Real talk with Flacco, man. I'm supposed to have a special guest coming on, man. None other than the guy's Fig, man. A lot of you guys been asking about Fig for like the last couple of years, man. You know, very iconic figure. Was one of the first lieutenants within the NF, and I think we got someone coming in right now. Bam. What's up, Fig?
What's up, my brother?
Man, the people, man, that's the one and only right there, man. That's the homie Fig right there, man.
What did we do up to, little brother?
Man, I'm just chilling, brother. I mean, people are kind of excited to hear from you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. They just want to know if I'm still around.
They want to know if you're still around. Yeah. He's still ticking, man. That's the OG right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's up? On our side,
Right.
we got Skip in here. We got the Patch Kid. These are all like, you know, hustle through the struggle. Let's get it. So, a lot of people been asking, right? What was it like back then, in the early days of the Familia?
Ooh, well, I came in the prison when I was real young in the 70s, when prison was a prison compared to what it is today. There was only 2 prisons in the system. The rest was institutions. DVI, Soledad was all institutions. San Quentin and Folsom was a prison. So you had to adapt to the prison life when you come in. You know, at an early age, it was rough. I started when I was 18 years old. You know, so by the time I got used to being in prison, then I got involved with everything else. You know.
Yeah, I'm listening. We can
Can
hear you.
See me? Can you see me?
I can see. We can see you perfect, brother. We can see you, brother.
Oh, okay. It's not showing over here, but that's okay.
We can see you,
I ain't got to see my top. I know I'm pretty, so I ain't got to worry about it. So what's up, bro?
Man, you know,
the times changed. The beliefs and everything else has changed. You know, so it was different when convicts were convicts. You know, not inmates. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what made everything a lot better, a lot different. You know?
Yeah. So you told me in the beginning, right, that you know when you first hit
bedroom. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
You told me when you first hit the system, right? It was all Rasa at the time, right? Whether you're from up north or south, you mean?
Yeah, we didn't have north and south. You know, it was all Rasa, and that's what I enjoyed better. I enjoyed doing time like that because that's where I came from, that type of background when I was involved with the Brown Berets, you know. So as time went on, it changed. In the younger generation, I was gone. I went out to court for a couple of years. By the time I came back, that's when they came out with this North and South bullshit. Right. We didn't have that. That's not what it's all about, you know.
So what year did you get into the mob?
72. My first murder.
72?
Yeah. When I caught my first, it was in 72.
So you went in with a 6-month sentence, right?
6 months to 5 years for felony and joyriding.
For felony joyriding, right? And you did 48 years.
Yeah. Felony joyriding was 6 months, 5 years. Car theft was 1 year and 5 years. Yeah. I got 6 months to 5 years. I would have been out in 18 months, but I picked up a case, so they kind of put it off a little bit. By the time I got to DVI, that's where I picked up my first murder, and I ended up doing 48 years.
Yeah, that was you know. Gracias, Pelon. Gracias, Farmero. Gracias, Anthony. But we appreciate that, brother. So that first hit, that was
Yeah.
And that was with the
But
assistance of what's his name, Chino from Stockton, huh?
yeah, I was in YA with him. He's a good dude, man. He helped me out on that, you know.
So take us
But
through some of the
we
most
don't.
like, if you were to go back throughout those years, right? What was a defining moment where the NF started to really come out, like in change,
And what?
or was it
When it came out of what?
when the NF started to push a whole different agenda? As far as you told me, the beginning years, it was about protecting the people, but that all started to change later on. You said it was more about mob activities. When did all that start to change?
Well, it started changing when we started realizing that the people we were protecting were turning against us, you know, and using their knowledge about us and giving it to them. So we had to back up off that. We actually went into organized crime. That's what it was all about. The mob is organized crime. That's what it's supposed to be, money. But somewhere down the line, they got lost in their philosophy. But that's
So
after the '70s. That's what we decided
you
to do.
a lieutenant, right? All the way to like you were like the first lieutenant. Am I correct?
Well, I worked my way up from about the fourth all the way
Okay.
up to the first.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a first lieutenant in my regiment at one time. But I did most of my time.
Okay.
I
So
did
hey,
most of my time in the hole.
yeah. No, guys. Hey, yeah. So I'm allow these viewers to ask you some questions. I know you guys got some questions, man. I talk to Fig all the time. I'm telling you one thing, man. He's a stickler for facts. He was a beast in his time. You know what I mean? So if he hears anything that I'm incorrect, he's on my helmet, man. Like, hey, brother, this is what really happened, man. And the whole situation with Bobo and Death Row Joe. Um, you told me how did all that come about, brother?
On what? Oh, what come about?
The situation with Bobo, the impeachment.
Oh, that was basically stupidity on his part because he wasn't staying on top of things. It cost him money. And the DR was taking all the money from everybody, not only the bank, but from the end of the canales too. And they were using that money. He was trying to use that money for his lawyer to get out. And he figured he can do that by using the mob money.
If you see that? You see that question right there, Fig?
Really, bro, I can't see. But I'm old as hell. I can't see that glass without glasses.
Okay. We got some dude. A man 2112 said, "Let's get down to then. How many MCAS did the NF kill, and how many ABs did the NF kill?"
Oh, now you got some way too much questions right there. There's always going to be a different belief. Nobody wants to believe that we did this or they did that because it has to do with just pride. So they're never going to cop to it, and we really shouldn't cop to it either. This war is not about a tally. Who gets the biggest tally? That's not what it's all about.
Yeah. But it was definitely some treacherous times. Let me see. Looking at the questions real quick, brother. We got, was the MA very oppressive towards Raza?
No. The MA was oppressive towards everybody. They were about money. That's what they were about. They wasn't just going after Raza, they were going after everybody. They were savage, they were beasts, and they did what they had to do to survive. As long as it had to do with drugs and all this other stuff, that's what they did. You can't take that away from them,
Hold on, guys. So, you wrote the book, right? The Last General Standing.
The book was written not. It wasn't written
So
intentionally. It was more or less me. Exactly when Bobble died, I gave Bobble my word I wouldn't write a book. So I didn't intend to write a book to be published. I wrote a book just to get my thoughts out. If you notice, it's not a book to where you see birds flying around and butterflies up in the air and all this type of shit. It wasn't that. If you read it good, you'll understand what I was trying to say. It's not a thing where I'll
yeah,
tell people not to get involved. They want to get involved. Hey, power to you. Handle your business. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you do get involved. And you take it any way you want to take it. It's only going to take you one or two places: 6 feet under, or in prison for the rest of your life. But
yeah.
it was more of a test thing. This guy said, "Look, my sister can publish this book." So I said, oh, "Okay, go for it. I ain't tripping." So I don't get no profit out of that book. That money's donated to it was is donated to a kid foundation for keeping kids out of trouble. And what I'm trying to do is, at the time, I wanted to see if it go anywhere. Apparently, it did, because it's still being sold, from what I understand. I don't keep
Yeah.
up with what she's doing. I know it's out there, and that's not the original book. The original got pictures in it. It's got a lot of things in it that she took out and published it herself.
Okay. So
But
I want to ask you pretty much a couple questions about like iconic figures. Who was the most influential and impactful in your life as far as becoming a Familiano?
um, I would have to say Larry, my crime partner, Perico. He was
Rico?
indicted. Yeah, him, and Bobble was indicted, and Dr. was indicted in Stockton back in the '70s for 8 counts of murder. And but I'd known Larry since I first came to prison, so I kind of backed him up on anything he wanted to do.
So what made you decide to join the NF at that time?
I didn't like the idea of them having white guys stabbing Mexicans, because I didn't
Oh
believe in
wow.
that. You know,
That's, you know
I've
what? That's a
always,
really you
yeah,
told me that some of those first killings that occurred like in 71 and 72. You told me that a lot of those were actually AB members and NF members, not MA members, right?
that's correct.
So that
And
so basically
I
the
didn't
MA
like
was
that.
so
That's
the
not what
MA
I
was
was
using
about.
so the MA was basically using AB members to do a lot of their bidding.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh wow, man. Let me see what question. Yeah, Larry's from Federico's from Salas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, JC said that's deep. I'm gonna look at some of these comments real quick, man. Internet is just Edward just saying. Sorry about that. Okay, I asked him about KC. He never knew KC, but KC testified against you, right?
He testified against the organization, not me personally. He don't know me,
Okay.
so he couldn't testify against me. He testified against the organization.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting roasted right now. So driving around. Let me see. Um, someone asked about sundown.
We're not gonna go there. We're gonna leave that alone.
He's gonna leave that alone, man. Hey, okay, what was something that was impactful like that you learned from like Bobo and Death Row Joe? Can you tell us a little bit about Bobo and Death Row Joe?
Bubba was an individual where he believed in killing them all and let God sort him out. He didn't. He was a beast. He didn't care. He's originally a white orientated because he lived in Santa Barbara, where he did a lot of surfing in his younger years. He ran with the surf boys, the guys that had surfboards. But once he got involved with us, he didn't have no mercy on nobody. He didn't believe in that. You know, he believed if you're a Familiano, you do it until the day you die. Bottom line, you know. And then when
Yeah.
you do something, you do it all the way till death. So if you're going to do something to somebody, handle your business. Dr.
Yeah.
on the other hand, Dr. was more of like he would remind you more of a professor in a college. You know, he's the type of guy you should walk around with his arms crossed, looking at you. Um, he's always planning the next move. Dr. was
Yeah.
more of an organizer. He before he does anything, he knows what he's going to do before he does it. You know, and why and everything. So
Someone's asking a question. What was your experience with the MA? Did they ever try to get over on you?
I never had contact with them.
Okay. Okay.
They're not
What's
my
your
long
opinion on
lost friends. Huh?
a couple of them were your friends from the past, right? Am I correct?
Well, no, they were that before we all got mobbed up. I was in Preston with a couple of them. I was in YA with a couple of them. Um, once we all got mobbed up, everybody went their separate ways, you know. So they're not somebody I would sit down and have a cup of tea with, you know.
So, what year did they start to separate the NF from the MA and put them on separate prisons and so forth?
Around 72. They felt it was best.
So 72
CDC felt it would be better to put one group here, one group there, and let them handle their business, you know. And that didn't work out good for them because they got more organized. Everybody got more organized.
Okay. Okay. So, Farmetta wants to know. He said, "What's your opinion on Death Row Joe? Since a lot of ex-Familianos have said they can't stand him."
He's not one to like. You're not gonna never like Dr. Everybody hated Dr. because Dr. didn't want no friends around him. Dr. He lived by the Constitution for the Constitution, you know. And no, you're not gonna like him. Bottom line, you know, he'd come up with some of the stupidest things. What I felt was stupid, but that was on him, you know.
We got an individual named Lupe. He's from San Diego. He's kind of curious. He said, "How many NF members were out of San Diego?"
I knew about 4 of them, and the worst one, the meanest one was Chingon from San Diego, from Logan Heights, Longo. He was a beast, 6 foot, about 6'2", almost 300 pounds. And that boy was not one to play with. He was half breed, half white and half Mexican.
Okay. I'm reading these questions again. I'm starting to. Sorry, guys. In the beginning, man, I was in a bad location, man. I was supposed to get somewhere faster, so I'm kind of more stable now. So I apologize for that, man. So now I can run this interview right, or actually this live right. Let me see. What was your opinion on the Brown Bob situation when Brown Bob got whacked?
I knew Brown Bob as a young kid. He wasn't really moved up in the world. He wasn't about nothing. When I knew him, he was kind of he was there, but you don't recognize it because we were way older than he was. So we kind of just looked at him as a little kid. As we got older, he came up in the world. You know, I don't think he should have been dealt with. You know, he had his reasons on why he left, why he wanted to do his own thing. You know, you get a certain age, and legally you can retire from the organization. He did his share. And that's one of the biggest problems that they had at that time. You know, let these guys go. They're not telling. As long as they ain't telling or doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he was trying to be a family man.
Yeah. Okay. So someone just super chatted the question they had. They said, "What's something Bobo told or taught you that stays with you today?"
I learned a lot from him as far as self-discipline, as far as I still get up 5 in the morning. I still wash my drawers in the shower. There's still a lot of things I do that I learned while I ran with him for 20 years. So there's a lot of
20,
things
yeah.
and that I learned from him to think ahead, try to have an answer before you do whatever it is you're going to do, and look
Now
at people for what they are.
you actually came from San Quentin with the new revised constitution, right?
I went from San Quentin to Tracy with it, and I sent it to Folsom um, after Bobble had approved it. I sent it to. I brought it to Tracy. Yeah, I gave it to the the captain that was running at that time was Peanuts, so I gave it to him
Okay, so why did they decide to vote in Bobo as a general?
because he's the only one that made the first hit for the family. He made a hit, and everybody was impressed with him. While he was at San Quentin, all the older time. See, I didn't meet Bobo until after I left San Quentin. Bobo was in San Quentin before I got there. He was in Folsom by the time I got there.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. I'm looking at some of these questions. Let me see. You got some good questions coming in. What MA member did you think was the most dangerous?
Whoo! Acha was no joke. That boy, he was a beast. And a lot of Topo talked a lot of shit, but he can back up what he says. Topo was a beast. So a lot of these Emma guys, Sleepy's still in prison. He's been in there about 58, 59 years. You know, and he when he was younger, he was a hitman for them. And he killed up everything come around him. Cops, he didn't give a shit. So a lot of those guys, I knew them. They know who I was, and we showed the respect. But if the doors open, we knew what we had to do. Bottom line.
So you personally knew Mundo as well, huh?
I knew Mundo, not really him, but I knew him. Yeah, we were in the same prison together.
Okay.
I never ran with him or nothing like that.
Yeah. Did you ever meet that officer Hankins?
Hankins? Yeah, I know him. I don't believe it like that.
Oh, he was that bad, huh?
Well, you don't supposed to know cops back in those days.
Yeah.
You know of them. You don't know them. You don't talk to them. You don't hang out with them or anything like that. You just know which ones to stay away from.
Hey, someone said, "Hey, my uncle was an NF lieutenant in the '70s. They call him Smiley Raul. His first name was from Salinas. You know him?"
There's a lot of Smileys from Salinas. Slow Smiley, Smiley Ramirez, and who did you say the guy was?
His first name was Raul.
No, he could have been in a different regiment. Just because he was a lieutenant or a first lieutenant, that don't necessarily mean I know him because each regiment had their own lieutenants.
Yeah.
If he was in DVI, 9 times out of 10, I probably didn't know him. I'm still trying to figure out who that other dude is, that you had on your show not too long ago.
Which one was
Jesse.
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah. I'm still trying. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who the hell he is. He knew everybody I knew, and same places I've been.
Yeah.
But I can't pinpoint him. Could be because I'm old now.
You're still young, man. You're still young, man. Let me see what we got going on, man. Tap the like button. And thanks for all the super chats, everybody. I appreciate the ones that are coming in, man. You know what I'm saying? I know big appreciation too as well.
I went in when I was 18. I got out when I was in my almost 70.
Oh, wow. It's a long time, man. Now, what's your personal, I got to ask this question, right? Because I know people want to know, right? What is your current feeling about the current state of the O?
I don't keep up with it no more. That's not my business no more.
That's right. Someone asked that. They want to know what Vado did you run with when you were younger? And did you know Tarzan and Manzanas?
Well, Montana was my boy. We we had a lot of competition against each other because if it
Thanks,
was my
Apache.
regiment, I would run it my way. He would want to run it his way, and we always had bumped heads. But he was still my boy. He was good people's. Tarzan, I knew not personally. I never met. I mean, I met him, but I never knew him. Did time with him. He was never in my regiment. He, when I was in Tracy, he was in the nut ward in Napa.
Oh, was he?
By the time he got on Napa, I was already gone in San Quentin. I went to San Quentin by that time.
Okay. So yeah, still Tarzan was off the hook.
Well,
Let me see
he
what
was
else.
smart. He wasn't stupid. He can, you
Okay.
can do something like that and play crazy, go to the hospital and get out in no time.
Yeah.
You know.
Very appreciate that, brother. Okay, let me see what we got. Anthony 831, appreciate. My Uncle Smiley is Raul Flores, he said. He was involved in the Jack Rice case.
Yeah, but he wasn't in my regiment. I know who he is, and I know everybody that was involved in Jack Rice. Jack Rice was just an innocent bystander that shouldn't. That wasn't his fault. He got killed before reading the Constitution. That was a mistake.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he shouldn't have been hit. But I wasn't around. I wasn't there to call the shot on that.
Okay, what about the C Negro Mendoza? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah. De La Cruz, I think. Mendoza?
Yeah, Negro
Yeah.
Mendoza. Someone wants to know, did you know Cho Soli?
Yeah, I know Joe Salee. Joe Salee was a good kid, man, but people got him twisted. He was trying to do something that didn't accomplish nothing, and he lucked out. And he never came back to prison once he got out. He went back to Korea. He was Korean. He wasn't Chinese.
So was he an undercover carnal, or was he
No,
just working it?
no. He was trying to be the general of the Korean boys when Joe Fong and his boys were trying to come into the system and run the system. Joe Fong boys was the ones that shot up the dragon, the Golden Dragon in San Francisco, and they all
Okay.
came to prison. So Cho Lee was trying to get the Korean boys to get away from the Chinese guys.
Okay. Someone wanted to know if you know Richie Hernandez from Soledad. He got hit.
No.
No. Did he ever meet? Okay. Let me see. You know what? Push. You were telling me. I remember vaguely. How did the star come into play? Where they ended up started to use stars.
They never
This is
used
different.
stars.
This is
What happened
this is
was
a
we
different
had a
story
hit
than what you
list.
guys.
Yeah, we had a hit list. On that hit list, if a person had one star, we wasn't worried about him. So if he had 3 stars, you got to hit him on sight. 2 stars, you got to get permission to hit him. And then for some reason, they came out with the idea of putting stars on their foreheads and try to represent how many hits they had. I got stabbed when I was a youngster in juvenile hall with a pencil, and the pencil lead stood right here in my forehead. For some reason, everybody believed it was a star for the hit that I made. And then everybody started putting a hit. Also from San Ho started, and everybody started putting them. That's the only reason they went with that.
Yeah. So Big, do you realize, like, I'm getting a lot of positive comments. Do you realize, like, that people look at you like with the utmost admiration for the sacrifices you guys made for the Henty to have what they have today?
Yeah, I don't. What I never wanted was nobody to follow in my footsteps. You know, I don't regret nothing I did. I did what I had to do. I believe in what I did, and I would have went all the way. I'm glad that a lot of people are living, enjoying what we did, but keep it in the right context. Don't let it go too far out of hand. Um,
What do you?
huh?
Okay. What was your opinion on Crackers from Fresno and his defection?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on 1 minute. My battery's going dead. Babe, give me that charger off the thing over there, please. My battery's dying.
Sorry, guys, about the
Crackers,
beginning. I was kind of really
you
unstable for that.
guys, you guys tend to misunderstand something about Cracker. Cracker was probably the best dude you'll ever meet in the system. Thank you, baby. Um, you will never meet anybody like him because he was. I only got like 15%. Okay. Yeah, you guys got, Crackers was a good dude. He very well respected, and he respect you. He'll go full force with you, but if you cross him, you're gonna have problems on your hand. The boy hits like a wild bull. He can knock your teeth out with one punch. I've seen it. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I grew up with Crackers in YA. I was in Preston with him back in the 60s. He was a good dude. I met his brothers after I came to prison and his sisters, but Crackers, he wouldn't go out of his way to mess with you. He gave you nothing but love and respect. And if you ever needed anything, he'd give it to you right off his back. What happened with Crackers, he got tired of doing time. He didn't care no more. Last time I talked to him, I chewed him out about that. And I told him, dude.
Hey, Big Lou, why don't you tap in? Big Lou's another historian. He got some good questions, man. If you want to tap in, Big Lou, tap in, man. Big Lou was real close with Macaron.
Macaron was a good dude. That's my boy right there.
Looking at these questions real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Man, you can't be smoking on my interview, dude.
Oh, there you I've been driving. I gotta go try to pick up the kids. That's what happened today. Did Fig ever meet Smitty? No, he doesn't know Smitty, guys. Let me see what else we
What's
got.
Smitty?
He's an older white guy
Pink Cushion Smitty?
from like a biker.
You're talking about Pink Cushion Smitty.
Pink Cushion Smitty. Yeah, maybe. He was like the Tracy.
Everybody know Pink Cushion Smitty.
Why they call Pink Cushion Smitty?
Because that fool been hit by everybody in the fucking system. He had more holes in him than a drain in a sink. That boy had holes in him. But he never got no pussy in his life.
Let me see. I'm looking at this PJ. Big Luke's to cancel dinner, man. We got all kinds. Flacco, I might have you hit for interrupted by Crackers. Okay, Ernesto Gabriel was able to taste some freedom before he passed away. Is that true?
Don't know him. Not by that name.
The Gabriel brothers.
All the Gabriel brothers. Well, actually, there's only two Gabriel brothers that are really brothers. Cricket is a cousin. No. Yeah, it is Cricket. One's a cousin, the other are two brothers.
Okay. So, what question I want to talk about, man, is when you guys used to box back in the days, man. You used to fight, right?
They used to bring the MF from around they're separated two tiers. We had on our side and the MF was on the other side. So one Saturday night, they'd bring 2 or 3 around this side, ABs and MF with boxing gloves. And then the next side, they'd take us around there. Well, that didn't last but a minute. As soon as Bobble came to Tracy, he said, "Oh, hell no. We ain't doing that." You shut that down real quick.
Who on the mob has done the most time ever? Okay, that's a good question. That's hard. That's hard to predict who's done the most time. He just mentioned the dude Sleepy was down for like 59 years.
That's
Um,
yeah, he's been down for about 59 years. I did more time than any of the Familianos.
okay, yeah, he probably did most time, man. Let me see. Belonque, no pink cushion. They're all laughing about pink cushion. Let me see. I'm looking at the questions, man. 48 years, man. What could you tell the youngsters out there, man, about your life, though? To not make those
The
mistakes.
prison system's different than what it was when I went to prison. The only thing I'm going to tell them, and like I said, I'm never going to tell somebody not to get involved. That's what they want to do. Handle your business. I wish you well. But if you're going to do it, go dedicate. I get mad when I see these guys go to prison for shooting somebody or killing somebody. Get to prison, they lock up a month later. That was stupid. Why'd you do that? If you're fighting for the so-called cause, then go all the way, and be willing to die for it. If you're not willing to die for it, don't get involved. Go on about your business. Be for real. You can't be for real. You got issues. And that's the way I live. I'm very dedicated to what I believe in.
They're asking about NF1 and NF2 conflict.
No such thing. No, I'm not getting into that. There's no such thing as that.
There was a civil war, though.
There was a civil war. Yeah.
Let me see. Living on. Big cushion. Old lady, C-Dog's up in the house, man. So a lot of the original members, man, are all from down south.
Yeah.
Did you meet like Freddy Gonzalez, Wolf, or any of those individuals?
I thought the Wolf that everybody's talking about was from San Diego. That's the one I know.
Okay, yeah, Wolf was from San Diego.
Yeah, that's the one I know. I haven't seen that guy in years and years and years. He's old. If he's still around, he's way older than me.
Okay, let me see. Was there any? Okay, let me see. That's a good question. Let me see. Hold on. Was there any early NF members from Oakland?
Was there any from Oakland? Hell yeah. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Hayward. And there was a lot of Chino from Oakland. There was a lot of people from Oakland.
Okay, someone says that about. They want to know about Rafas. Old man Rafas.
I give him his respect because he held in as long as he did. I know him. He's just a happy-go-lucky dude, man, and I give him his props because he stood around a lot longer than anybody else did, and you got to respect that.
Someone asked about Pelucas. Pelucas is still active.
I wouldn't know. I kind of just, there's an old saying, old soldiers never die, they just fade away. And that's what I did. I faded away.
Nah, I don't. You knew Tigre. You told me about Tigre. You knew Toro too, as well, in Tex, right?
What Toro?
Toro from where's he from? Hayward.
Yeah, he got shot up and down at what there used to be a place called Doggy Diners down there. He rolled his pants up to his chest and said this and that, and they shot his crazy ass. And there's a Toro from Modesto. He just passed away recently.
Okay. Yeah. What was your experience with the BTF?
Well, being I'm from the Bay Area, I used to be able to talk their talk and walk their walk. I knew George Jackson. I met him long before I got involved with it. Ooh, man. Oh, those things are sour.
Michael, hey, he does know Mike. He does know Michael Thompson.
Mike Thompson, Big Thompson. There's a rumor out that he was gay. I don't know. I know Mike. I knew him when he was a Catholic clerk. That's why I met him. Then when the war broke out in Tracy, the baseball bat incident, he got picked up and ended up in the hole because they found 5 knives in the chapel. Those knives belonged to us. We used to hide them at. And he got blamed for it. So when he got picked up, he got involved with the ABs. All this about beating up 5 or 6. No, I'm not going for that. There ain't nobody that dangerous. They can miss me with all that.
I don't think you ever met Joe Morgan, or did you? Did you meet Joe Morgan?
No. I met Cheyenne, not Joe Morgan.
Okay, so someone just asked about Cheyenne. They super chatted. Formato super chatted. They appreciate the super chat. He wants to know what about the Cheyenne hit, and what about Cheyenne?
I don't know nothing about the hit. I don't know nothing about no hits. I know Cheyenne because Cheyenne was a good dude, man. He's a little bit before his time, but his intentions were to organize all raza to take over all the prison system, you know. And we would have been beasts if we were able to do that. He's only stood like 5'4", if that, I think. If I was to measure him, I think he was only about 5'4". Looked like some long-haired hippie, but other than that, he was pretty cool. Like I said, way before his time.
Yeah, that's a good question. He can't. They said that's right. He keeps a G code, man. Man, you know, no matter what, right? You're always gonna have love and feel the way of a Familiano. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, of course. Yep. You'll always be.
Okay.
Once a Familiano is always a Familiano.
Okay, let me ask you something. Where do you guys think that maybe any mistakes that you made that you wish you guys would have did differently?
I think we could have had better choices of rank members that we had. A lot of people that had rank should have never had rank. There should have been more than one so-called general. I pushed that for years. There was enough captains, but the people that were putting in your so-called lieutenant positions should have never got the positions. You know.
You guys only had 2 captains at that time, right?
At the early part, as time went on, you had Larry, then you had Peanuts. First you had Peanuts, then you had Larry, then you had Art LaRock, then you had I think that was about it.
Okay.
But I wasn't referring to captains. I was referring more to lieutenants, because even if you're a first lieutenant, you had authority to do what you want to do, and that's how a lot of people got hurt. They were putting these stupid people in positions that should have never been in positions, and that's how a lot of innocent. I had a guy named Topo from Riverside. He was good. He was underneath me in my regiment. I think it was like a day after I moved out that regiment, went to another regiment. He locked up, and I asked him. I seen him. I had a chance to talk to him. I said, "What happened, dude?" He said, "Big, once you were gone, I'm done." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're the only one that was fair enough to, if anything ever happened, you had my back." And I believe that anytime a person was right, I backed him up 150%, even if it cost me my life. But if you're wrong, I'm going to take your head. Bottom line.
They're asking, what do you think about Boxer and Rojo? Man, we talked about it. He watches Boxer and Rojo, even Gunner.
Gunner, Boxer, and Rojo. Rojo's good. Seems to be a good dude. You know, I had a couple of times to talk to him. I was hoping he was going to be on tonight, but apparently he couldn't have made it. Boxer, I checked out Gunner today, and I give him his props because he stuck up for himself and what he was, you know. Somebody tried to say something bad about him or didn't want to put him up, you know, meet him to go fight. And he called it like it is. You know, he called him every name in his book. Let's do this. And same with Boxer. And Boxer seems to be a good dude. He's calm, cool, and collective. But in the time you guys get involved in this kind of situation that you guys are in, you're always going to have negative and positive. And once you guys get to that point, say what you got to say and leave it alone, because you ain't never going to win. So if a guy don't like you, oh well, drink a cup of water and walk slow. You'll be all right in the morning, you know. But he has to be able to say what he wants to say. So he already said it. Now move on, dude. There ain't no more to be said, you know, because it's not true. And if we keep pushing the issue, people are gonna say, "Well, if it's not true, why you run off the mouth? Let it go."
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Good point, man. Word from an OG right there, man. What are your thoughts about the split between norteños and sureños?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't pay attention to that no more. I don't agree with it because we're all raza, and there's some real good dudes from both sides. I mean, but everybody wants to be a leader. That's why there's so many different gangs today. You know, there's new gangs from down south. There's new gangs down this way. You know, but and so if a person drops out tomorrow, next day he'll have his own gang. You know, and it all depends who they are. I don't agree with the North and South. I never did, because that's not what the Familianos are all about. But that they built that, they made that, that was their decision. They have to live with that. I think personally that they should have came together a long time ago.
They're asking about your thoughts about the NF corrido.
That if you turn the record over, you'll see the record is dedicated to a guy named Conejo from Gilroy Lopez. His sister wanted to write a record about Conejo. That's what the whole thing was all about. But she didn't have nothing to put on the other side. So we came up with the idea to write the record and let her put that on this side. So when she wrote the record, everybody was playing that one side, not the other side about Conejo.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. I like that, man. Creeping JD made it. Everyone wants to know, what was your first meal when you got out of prison?
My first what?
Your first meal out of prison.
They were advertising. I had my grandson and my granddaughter picked me up, and I went to. They were advertising on the TV all the time. I didn't think I was ever getting out, so I didn't pay. I really didn't decide what I wanted. But when I used to always tell this friend of mine, I said, "Man, if I ever get out, I'm gonna get one of them double Mac cheeseburgers with fries. I mean, with bacon."
Yeah.
Oh man! So when my grandson and my granddaughter came and got me, I told them, we're going to go get one of these. But the first thing I want to do, I want to use a phone.
Yeah.
I never seen a phone. I didn't break the rules, so I never had a phone in the prison system. And I said, I just want to walk with it. That's all. So my grandson let me use his. I called my cousin, and I was just walking up and down the street. That was the weirdest experience I've ever felt. I couldn't believe it. And then, like a week after I got out, a friend of mine took me to buy one.
Hey, MOI 14. No, you don't have to necessarily do that, but we got so many questions coming in that, of course, if they super chat, they're going to get those questions. They're going to be first. That's on any YouTube genre. But I'm trying to get to as many questions as I can, and some of them that I'm seeing, if I know that they're kind of irrelevant, that I don't need to ask, I don't. And then some of them I just can't get to all of them, guys. So I'm doing the best I can. Let me see. Let me see. First time on a cell phone. Oh man, that must have been. Hey, he did pretty good, man. When I did a little test run with him earlier, man, he was able to pick up on it, man. Sundown took about 2 days. You know what I
Well, I'm
mean?
learning how to work all this. I'm barely learning how to use all this technology they got today. You know,
Okay,
I think
if
the
someone
first
asks
two
about the
weeks I
bloom,
was
about
out here,
what's the truth behind the blooming flower and La Cinco Familia?
Familia Cinco, they're different
Oh yeah, Familia
organizations.
Cinco.
Familia Cinco, yeah, it's from something back in the 70s, and it created in CMC. The blooming flower, I don't know nothing about them. That I do know that that's something from this era, but they're two separate
So
people.
there's no truth that there was a blooming flower in the that the NFL was called before.
No, see, if you look, when we were starting, well, when we used to put the tattoos on, we were putting the ANF. And when the administration used to roll us up or talk to us, they want to know what the ANF stand for. We said Nancy Flores or New Flower. So we come up with different, anything that started with an N and an F. That's how that rumors got started. Almost that's 9 times out of 10, that's rumors. But the Familia Cinco is from originally out of CMC.
Someone just asked, "What's your thoughts about the American Me movie?"
That's garbage. Anybody that's ever done time know damn well they're not going to let 500 or 1,000 convicts meet in the middle of the tier. That ain't going to happen. You know,
I seen that. Yeah.
Me and my crime partner, Bob, was called to the program office because they wanted us to give their opinion. And so they were going to take us to New Folsom Old Folsom, and tell us, want our opinion about what we thought about it. But we were so drunk that day, we told them, nah, we're not going. You can miss us with that stupid shit. And actually, when the first time I saw it was in a Catholic chapel in prison. And no, that's a really disgrace movie.
Man, this is
I,
people are saying this is gold, man. Hey, we don't get too much time, Maris, from like to talk about people from like the '70s and stuff, and man, and what really happened and stuff, man. You know, Tracy was basically your guys' headquarters at that time. Am I correct?
no, originally started off San Quentin.
San Quentin was
And
the original headquarters.
they let one dude from them and walk that line. And well, that was a big mistake because he was undercovering recruiting. Then they took off on us. We lost San Quentin. That's when we ended up in Tracy. Yeah,
Oh,
they gave us Tracy, Soledad. Then we had San Quentin and Folsom.
oh, it's okay. So
Because
okay, so there was other.
yeah, because most of us were younger compared to them. They were old veteranos. We were just young kids. You know, we're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. You know, Tracy was a juvenile hall it was a juvenile prison at one time. And that's why they were turning it into a state, and they sent us over there. There in Soledad North was also belonged to juveniles.
And someone said, what's your thought of this generation wearing mama pants?"
I get a kick out of it because the girls' dresses are going up and the guys' pants are coming down.
Oh man, huh? You knew Pilo, right? Yeah, I know you know Pilo. You showed me a picture of him the other day.
Yeah, Pilo's a good dude. I like Pilo. Pilo loved the hell out of me. You know.
Let me see. Let me see. Let's see what else we got going on, man. That's about Pilo. A lot of good questions in here, man. You know, I'm assuming. Let me see. Oh yeah, he kind of did answer why the ANF was formed, man. It was formed for basic protection in the beginning, but by the time he got in, it was all mob activity. It's all about generating money and controlling the rackets. You know, you know. They're making the sundown comments. They're like, ask about the '80s. The '80s is kind of a mystery era. You were already on. You're pretty much.
I lost a lot of the 80s because I was fighting a couple murder briefs in them days. I stood a lot of time in the county jail and in the hole. By the time I came out of the county jail, a lot of madness was going on already. I was sat up on death row for 2 years because the administration didn't want us back in prison. So they put me on death row until they can figure out what to do with me. So I stood up there for about 2 years.
Yeah. So I got two names I'm gonna throw out there at you, and just you can speak about them: Ricardo London and Black Bob.
Carter London, I really never knew the guy. I did time with him just before I got out. He very very intelligent individual. He's he'd be good for to run an army because he was really really intelligent individual. You know, who was the other one?
Black Bob.
I'm not going to comment on him.
Okay.
I'd never seen eye to eye with him.
Well, most definitely, most definitely. I understand that one, man. Let me see. Now you've heard all of us do our histories. Is there any type of correction that you think that some of us need, as far as the things that we discussed?
Any kind of correction? I've been away for so many years. I wouldn't really know what they're doing today. My understanding, they took a good step. They're not leaving bodies. See, that's one of the big mistakes that the organization made. We left bodies all over the place. The administration, as well as society, are not going to allow people to leave bodies laying all over. They want answers. They want to know why these bodies are turning up all over the place. They're not going to allow that. And that was what they made. That's why they came out with all the RICO acts and the indictments and everything. They're not going to allow that to happen. And that was one of the biggest mistakes we made, and they're not doing that no more, which is fine. It's better that way. Because now they can get on with business, what they're supposed to be doing, making money, just like everybody else. That's what it's all about, is making money.
So, what do you think about this end all hostilities, this peace between these groups now?
That's why I said I think it was the right move, because now they can pay attention to what they're supposed to do, which is make money. We had the biggest prostitution ring in all of Salinas. We had apartment houses in Salinas. We had cars, brand new cars. We had all that. But once they start leaving bodies laying in society's not going to put up with that. They didn't put up with Charles Manson. So why in the hell would they put up with that with us? No, they're going to shut you down before it happens.
Okay. Someone wanted to ask you the question. I think this is a really good one. What was your biggest life lesson?
My biggest what?
Life lesson.
Ooh, my biggest life lesson was to learn how to, believe it or not, learn how to read and write and get my education.
Okay. So when you went to prison, you didn't know how to read and write yet?
No.
Oh wow.
I did not know how to read and write, so I had to take it upon. I did so many years in the hole. Back then, you only came out for 20 minutes. So the rest of the day, you're in the hole. What are you going to do? You had to do something. So I had to pick up a book and learn how to read and write. I taught myself how to read and write. I finally got a chance to go back to school, get my education. I did a little bit of college, and I read a whole lot of psychology books when I was fighting my murder beef, because I wanted to learn.
So what's your opinion of the Texas Syndicate?
I knew, and I still, in fact, I just talked to one the other day. I lost track of him. I found him on Facebook the other day. So I just talked to him. His brother's getting out pretty soon, which is good. They're both from the TS, and they always carried themselves with a whole lot of respect. Those guys always dress neat. I mean, real neat.
Thanks for our medal. We appreciate that, man. Hey, thanks to everybody that's been showing love tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you guys. The baseball incident. I've yet to really heard all the details about the baseball incident. What's the real truth behind it?
DR sent word. We had got rolled off the line. DR sent word to who the hell was it? Pancho? Some
Yeah.
dude named Pancho, and told him, look, take over the gambling tables at all costs. And them like him like a dummy. He was a lousy leader, and I told him, DR said, that's not the one, because right now those gambling tables are ran by the Vargos. You know, if you go messing with them dudes, they're going to take your head off your shoulder. So we already had gambling tables in every wing. Well, them like a dummy, they went and pushed up on them Vargos and told them, look, dude, we want that table at all costs. The dude said, look, man, let's work something out. They said, no, we want that table because that's what my captain said to do. So, all right, you're going to have the tables. So when he went out to the yard, they handled their business.
They handled their business, huh?
It wasn't going to let nobody pressure them out of those are bikers, dude. You know, they're no little punks. Those Vargos ain't no little punks.
No, not at all, man. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much got everybody took it off the yard, though, huh?
Yeah, it did.
The whole incident, man. Yeah, I
They
know that was
said,
a big issue, man.
They set a couple of canales on fire. Yeah, it was all bad. That was a bad decision, very bad.
So someone's
It
asked this
was,
question a couple times. I don't know. I'm gonna ask it. I don't know what kind of response I'm gonna get. He said, "Why didn't the NF take advantage of our ports like the Italians were doing on the East Coast? What was happening there
why did the NF take over what?
over the ports, like how the East Coast Mafia does?"
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, team. I don't. I really didn't really think there was going to be an answer for that one, brother.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know
they want
much
to know about
about
Diamond and Bullwinkle.
a lot of that Italian mafia stuff is what you see on TV, and I don't think we're anything like that. Unless you know something I don't know.
Yeah. So someone asked about Diamond and Bullwinkle.
Those guys, well, Diamond went down like a soldier. He fought in the showers. Bullwinkle got caught off guard. He was laying in bed asleep when they ran in there, and they hit him in the neck. They hit him so many times that his only thing that was holding his head was his vein. Diamond from Fresno, that boy had chunkums. He fought Pelon and took the knife away from him, but he had so many holes in him he couldn't even make it to the program office. He died right there.
That's terrible, man. Yeah. I've always heard about that, man. That his post pretty much abandoned him, right?
Yeah. The keeping Popes. Yeah, he ran. He said
Wow.
he was running. He was running to go get some knives. That wasn't going to help no good. You know, those guys they were prepared.
Someone said one goal I heard was NF wanted legitimate businesses. Did they ever accomplish in your time?
Yeah, we had motels in Salinas. We had a lot. We had two or three hotels in Salinas. We read the most of the prostitutions in Salinas. The next step before all this stuff started happening, we were moving towards the Bay Area.
Okay, I got a good question. I want to hear this one. Who had the best hands in the NF?
Chunkum wise?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, Joker Mendoza.
Joker Mendoza?
He was a professional boxer. He held heavyweight championship in San Quentin.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what I was thinking, Big? I think we're going to end this for tonight. I think maybe in a couple of weeks we'll tap back in, man.
That ain't going to happen. All right, my brother.
Guys.
You take it easy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'm gonna give you a call right now after this. Hey, you guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. You know, Big's been around. I appreciate him tapping in, man. Like this, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Thanks for the support, man, and much love. We'll tap in with you guys soon.
All right.